What's up, guys? Another Down the Middle podcast. My name is Nomal.
I'm Ryan.
And we'll be talking to you about Biden's press conference and his answers. One particular topic, actually.
With his sunglasses on, he's like, I saw this one clip where he was answering is this the Fox News guy?
Yeah.
You'll see it, like, he's answering him, he wants to walk away, but he doesn't, so he's, like, got his sunglasses in, like, purgatory, where he's, like, going back and forth with his sunglasses.
Oh my
it's
God.
Very weird. I mean, we can't show you guys, but I'll point it out when we get to that point.
I mean, maybe we
can turn it a little bit.
You can see that. You can see the glasses. Maybe he looked like that in 2011 when he told Putin, I don't see a soul in your eyes or something like that. I don't know. It's kind of like, sounds like a rom-com.
Putin's like, I have sunglasses on.
But yeah, so basically a news reporter is asking Biden about his response to China and what the U.S., in terms of action, will do to China if they keep on denying access to that information about the origins of COVID-19. So it's a 2-minute video. So we're gonna roll through the whole video.
The reporter's name is Peter Doocy. Yeah. He's the Fox News. He's the only Fox News reporter that anyone takes questions from. Just Jen Stacy, who is the press secretary. I watch a lot of her stuff, and he asks her tough questions every day. Oh wow! So he's a great reporter.
So he knows what he's doing.
He's great. He's great. Yeah.
But
and not great from a conservative perspective. He's a good reporter.
Yeah. Yes. But we'll see how bad or well depends on. We'll see what you think. But we'll roll through the clip. It's a 2-minute video, and then Ryan and I will just go through whichever point we want to stop at and just comment. Yeah. We already watched through the video, and it definitely pisses me off. I don't know about you, but it pisses me off.
I sent it to you.
Yeah, he sent it to me. So, but yeah, we'll just roll through the clip, give our thoughts on about it, and go from there.
I sent it to you, and I spelled weak with like 56 letters.
Yeah. And then you also spelled it with a Q.
Oh, I
he just forgot his whole spelling ability.
It just broke me so bad.
Yeah.
But play the clip. Let's see.
Okay. Let's see. I'm going to put this in max volume. There we go.
Are you saying that there is no substitute for face-to-face dialogue? And also with what you said at NATO, that the biggest problems right now are Russia and China. You've spoken many times about how you...
Real quick. So at NATO, he said the biggest problems are Russia and China. Within the U.S., he said the biggest problem is white supremacy. Then he goes back and says climate change. And then he has a lot of biggest problems topics. So I think in his flashcards, he just goes through like biggest problems and then where you say it, in which summit you say which, you know.
It's like in freaking second grade where you say that 30 people are your best friend. Right. It's like you just got to pick one. There's just one.
I mean, you can't lose when you have 30. I mean,
exactly,
you have all. Yeah.
Spent perhaps more time with President Xi than any other world leader. So is there going to become a time where...
He took the sunglasses off.
You might call him old friend to old friend and ask him to open up China to the World Health Organization investigators who are trying to get to the bottom of COVID-19.
Let's get something straight. We know each other well. We're not old friends. It's just pure business.
So I guess my question...
You see the sunglasses in the hand again?
Yeah.
But one thing about this is that he has said on multiple occasions that he speaks at length with President Xi often. Yeah. Which we don't get any of their... we don't know what they talk about.
More than Fauci and Bill Gates.
Yeah, kind of just like that. But we have no idea the context of the conversation, but he comes out all the time and he says that him and President Xi talk a lot.
Yeah.
And now Peter Doocy's, his question is, you guys talk so much, why not hit him up and, on your little FaceTime calls and say, hey, what's going on with COVID? Right. And his response is, oh, we're not friends, it's just business.
Yeah, I mean, well, like, we all know your relationship with the president, right, of China. And why would you come out and that's not even answering the question. He just completely deflects the question and just focuses on the relationship between the president of China and Joe Biden. And he's just like, well, first of all, we're not friends.
That's not first of all. It's not. I mean, you can see. You can.
First of all, COVID-19 happened. We want to find the origins of it. That's first of all. Nobody cares if you're friends or not.
He doesn't think that you and President Xi are besties. Like he's not saying that.
And nobody really cares. You could be enemies. Like nobody actually cares. We just want to know the origins of COVID-19.
I mean, especially with stuff that China has said, nuclear war. Right. Elites have to tremble. All the stuff they said. He's not. President Xi isn't coming out saying that. Oh, I'm not going to try to do a Chinese accent. I feel like that would just be xenophobic. I'm going to say that he's not coming out and saying that Joe Biden is his friend. They talk all the time. He's just saying what's best for China, which is horrible, but it's what's best for China. And that's what you expect from your leader.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Would be, you've said said that you were going to press China.
So real quick. So basically, he's like, all right. So let me reframe this question.
No,
so
look at Biden with the freaking sunglasses.
Oh yeah, he just answered the question with the sunglasses, just like right
he
here.
moved them up to here.
Yeah.
Signed onto the G7 communique that said the G7 were calling on China to open up to let the investigators in. But China basically says they don't want to be interfered with anymore. So what happens now?
The impact, the world's attitude toward China as it develops. China's trying very hard to...
So this is a great question. He's basically saying, just the son's a question, China, COVID origins, what are we going to do? And he says, the world impact on China as is expected. Is that what he said? Or as it's affected?
I don't know.
Let's rewind it just to hear what he said there.
Now.
The impact, the world's attitude toward China as it develops. China's trying...
The world's impact on China as it's developed.
The attitude as it developed.
That doesn't even make sense.
How about China's impact on the world and as that developed?
That's already developed.
That's pretty big on what China did.
That was not even English. That was like when you try to type a Spanish phrase into Google Translate, but it's completely wrong and it tells you something that's incomprehensible. Yeah. What does that even mean?
That wasn't a coherent statement.
But it's okay because he's taking Fox News' questions.
Right.
Yeah. You want to go on?
Yeah, go ahead.
Very hard to project itself as a responsible and very, very forthcoming nation.
Stop. I couldn't even stop the video. That's how angry I am. He said, oh man, I don't even know. He said, what did he say?
So he says that China is trying very hard to come out as a forthcoming nation.
And as a very responsible...
forthcoming nation.
Whatever, yeah. Like, I just don't understand. Well, it's not like he doesn't know that China's withholding information, right?
Yeah.
And even the reporter stated that they're withholding information. What do we do now? And his first response to his old friend, to help his old friend out, I don't know, is, well, first of all, we had our own attitudes towards China, and as that developed, that's number one. Then he goes into number two. China's trying really hard to what? To hide information.
Yeah, but probably not even. They're respectable. So like, this is a respectable nation who engineered a biological weapon and released it on the world, but they're respectable. And what we spoke about before is that the World Health Organization's compromisation by China.
Yeah.
Is the president compromised by China? They're being forthcoming. Everyone knows they have hidden information. Their deaths plateaued at 4,000 for 10 years. Like, everyone knows that they're hiding information from us.
They've been hiding information since last March when we went for lockdown.
What about what is forthcoming about China? What's the name one single thing besides their economic growth that's forthcoming about China?
And if you really, like, I personally really care about the effects of COVID-19, especially within our nation. Like, we've gone through pure hell. Like, everybody's had their own stories. Everybody's lost family members. Everybody's gone through so much shit. And if you're the president of the United States, and to say that my first response would have been like, yeah, we're going to get to the bottom of it because it's affected so many lives and so many people of our nation. But his first response is they're trying really hard and they're trying to be respectable in every way. Like, what does that make you think? Whose best interests do you have?
Exactly, and it gets even worse. Go on.
There you go.
Yeah.
As it develops, China's trying
to let
the investigators in, but China basically says they don't want to be interfered with anymore. So what happens now?
Who cares if China doesn't want to be interfered with?
It's not your choice.
It's not your choice.
It's not our. It wasn't our choice.
We didn't want to be interfered with by COVID-19.
Yeah.
The rest of the world didn't. So.
The impact, the world's attitude toward China as it develops. China's trying very hard to project itself as a responsible and very, very forthcoming nation. That they are trying very hard to talk about how they're taking and helping the world in terms of COVID-19 and vaccines, and they're trying very hard.
How they're helping the world in terms of COVID-19?
How
they're helping the 600,000 Americans who died from COVID-19? I don't think they're feeling that gratitude right now. And across the, it was probably higher now. How are they
helping?
What have they done? They don't release the host animal. What have they done for vaccinations? We're talking Pfizer and Moderna are the two big, and Johnson & Johnson. Those are the ones that we sponsored. Operation Warp Speed. AstraZeneca is a mess. What have they done to help the world at all? They lied about numbers. They lied about origin. They lied about transmission.
I believe most of the vaccines come from India anyway.
Yeah. What have they done? I don't know. Man.
Look, certain things you don't have to explain to the people of the world.
I know you want to say that one. Certain things you don't have to explain.
Like, that just, like, boils my blood to a different extent. Like, to say that certain things you don't have to explain to the rest of the world.
Which is a true statement.
It's a true statement, but what an insensitive thing to say when COVID-19 has wreaked havoc on the world. And now, after it's wreaked havoc, we can't get any answers. You know? And forget about it. If I hear some dude on the street saying some crap like that, all right, cool. But I don't even know who this guy is. Like, whatever. This is the president of the United States representing the U.S. and what's gone through the past year. And to say that sometimes you don't have to explain it. Sometimes you don't have to explain COVID-19 to the people of our nation.
Yeah, exactly.
Or the rest of the world, for that matter.
There are definitely certain things you don't have to explain to the rest of the world. Like, one thing I never understood is why Republicans wear blue ties when they do debates with Democrats. I never understand it, but I don't need an explanation. I just don't get it. They look good. Donald Trump did it. He looks good in a suit. But this is not something you don't have to, like, exactly what Nomal said.
This is like the one thing we all need an explanation
exactly.
for.
Yeah, if there's one thing.
If there's one thing for the rest of our lives we actually need an explanation about, that's it.
It's insane.
The results is China vaccines. And they're trying very hard. Look, certain things you don't have to explain to the people of the world. They see the results. Is China really acting?
The results are deaths.
What results have we seen?
Deaths. That's the results.
I was just making sure. Yeah, because that's what I had. I don't know if you saw something different. That's what I saw.
No. Yeah, deaths, people coming up with different health conditions, decreased economy.
I saw a lot of masks.
Yeah, jobless, unemployment.
Remember last time you were sitting like 3 feet further that way too?
Yeah, I can't see my family.
Yeah.
I don't get an explanation for that?
Yeah. That's what I saw too. I was just making sure we were on the same page.
Actually trying to get to the bottom of this. One thing we did discuss, as I told you, in the EU and at the G7 and with NATO, what we should be doing and what I'm going to make an effort to do is rally the world to work on what is going to be the physical mechanism available to detect early on the next pandemic and have a mechanism by which we can respond to it and respond to it early. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
As I'd point out to Nomal, the girl in the back is looking at him like just your face.
And just on that point,
I messed it up. Okay, we're done.
Like, how are you gonna prevent the next pandemic when you can't even figure out or want to figure out how the first pandemic even happened? I mean, first, as in like in our lifetime at least, how the first pandemic happened.
Now, I think that first of all, I want to say he started off on a really good note there. He said, we're going to get all the world leaders together. We're going to create the physical mechanism. And then I expected him to say to track down the origin. And I was like, yes.
Yeah.
But then he said to prevent the next one. Just like you said, how can you... The first step of fixing a problem is discovering what the problem is and acknowledging the problem is there.
Exactly.
How do you do that if you don't know? Is he trying to say that in the way that we're going to do this is to just cut off travel? If it pops up in New Zealand, let's just stop travel from New Zealand. Like, is that what you're going to say? Or you like, why don't you figure out who's trying to construct biological weapons from viruses, from animal viruses, and do it that way? Like, how about instead of trying to limit the transmission of the virus, you eliminate the creation of the virus? Wouldn't that be a more effective way to do it?
He's literally completely blowing over the involvement of China.
Exactly.
Completely blowing over, like, as if it's like not something to talk about, as if it's like some far-fetched idea. Like, no, it's pretty much the leading theory. Like, so far, there's more proof for the lab leak than there is for a host animal.
Exactly. Yeah.
And to really blow over that and say, you know what, they're trying really hard, so it's okay. But for next time, we're gonna prevent the next pandemic. How?
This is just horrible. This is a great question that's posed to him. This is an actual tough question. It wasn't
on his flashcards.
This is why, exactly. This is why I like him. I like this reporter because he asks real, like when they say they ask tough questions, they're just questions that you want the answers to. It's not like, what did you have for dinner last night, Joey?
It's just stupid questions. Yeah, stupid questions like that get us nowhere.
Exactly, or stupid answers like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant his question. Peter Ducey's question.
Oh no.
Yeah. Like these, like stupid questions that the CNN people and the mainstream media ask him. Yeah. You don't get anything out of it, and no, they have been asking tougher questions lately to give them credit. But a question like that, for him to say those answers that will prevent the next one, they're doing a great job. Xi Jinping's not my friend.
Yeah, and we don't care who asked that question. Like, yeah, it was a Fox reporter, sure, but CNN, MSNBC, whatever. Like, doesn't matter. It was just the question itself. That was the good question. We're not talking about any affiliation or whatever. That's a very valid question that everybody deserves an answer for.
And that is why my solo video I did at 2:00 in the morning last night was named China will never be held accountable, because as it's looking right now,
we're getting further and further.
Exactly. We're getting, it's like colder. Yeah, we're getting further away, which is a shame. But hey, stay optimistic. Maybe,
they're trying hard. So that's all that matters.
Maybe China will just freaking admit it. Maybe one day it'll be like guilty conscience, like when Patrick and SpongeBob put themselves into jail because they stole the balloon. Maybe that'll be like China. They'll just be like, we did it. I can't live with it any longer. I'm murdering my own people, but I treated coronavirus.
And then I guess Biden would be like, great.
Biden would be like, really? Wow.
I don't know, man.
I had banned all the bats from America.
All I know is, just as my general thought, is just someone has to be held accountable. Someone has to face repercussions, because the whole world, like, this is not like a world war where like Germany had to pay the reparations, and like everybody was affected, and I feel like someone has to answer those questions.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, Joe Biden, he's just getting. I'm trying to give him a chance, but he just does these things where it just is so difficult. But I'm trying to give him that shot, though. Yeah.
Joe Biden, is that you?
But that's all we got for today.
Yeah.
All right. We'll catch you guys soon. Thank you.
Yeah.
And
comment, like, and subscribe.
Peace out.
Peace.